Welcome back to Kane University. Matt Schurtis, Colby Nelson with you as we get ready for the non-public Group 3 championship between St. Joe's and DePaul Catholic. Rematch of a game that took place on November the 4th and had St. Joseph's winning 28-21 in that game. DePaul had a 2-touchdown lead with a quarter to go and wound up surrendering the advantage. St. Joe's come in. They're coached by Augie Hoffman in his 3rd season. He has led this team to a couple championships, including last year defeating DePaul 26-17 at MetLife Stadium. John McKenna is the head coach for DePaul Catholic in his 13th season as head coach, 22nd overall with the team. 3-time state champions, the last coming in 2015. So DePaul won the toss. They elected to receive. They are wearing the green, the Spartans are, as the higher seed. They are technically the home team on the scoreboard. And St. Joe's in the road golds with the gold helmets and Kelly green numbers. Angelo Guglielmello will kick it away. And we are underway. Ball taken at the 1-yard line. And out across the 15 to the 20. And that is where DePaul will take over to begin the afternoon. Again, DePaul led by Taquan Robertson, a 6-foot junior, 185 pounds. Over 2,000 yards through the air this season for the second-year starter. And John McKenna says this in year 2, his understanding of the offense has increased tremendously. He's making much better reads overall. Robertson begins the game in shotgun as DePaul moves left to right. Play action, zip over the middle, but a little high pass intended for it looked like Manny Oliver, or Ronnie Hickman that is. So DePaul has not struggled to get off to good starts. It's closing the game that the Spartans have had some issue with. 3 receivers to the near side now. As Robertson will take it himself, run left side, has some running room, first down as he gets out across the 30 and sent out of bounds there. And a fresh set of downs for the Spartans, gets a hand from the fans on the near side here. Fans on both sides start arriving pretty early while the last game was still going on as Shabazz controlled one end-to-end from Weequahic, 35-0, completing a 12-0 season. Two receivers to either side in an empty backfield. It's Robertson, plenty of time to throw over the middle again. That'll go incomplete as he had his eyes to Teddy Harbor. It's Harbor well defended. Andre Johnson right on him. DePaul will host several running backs. They've got a sophomore, Sean Kelly, the senior, Chase Hebron, who's a second-year starter, averaging close to 7 yards per carry, and the fullback, Vinny DePalma, who leads them defensively at his linebacker spot. But they go with a more open look to begin the game. Here's Robertson with time again. Robertson complete to Oliver, but then jarred loose, so they rule it incomplete. A hard hit by St. Joe's to knock that free. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for the green and white of the Spartans. Just underway here at Kane University, no score. Perhaps one of the more anticipated games of the weekend outside of last night, where Bergen Catholic, impressive showing, won an overall state title. Flag down, screen pass across the left side. It's complete to Hebron. Hebron, plenty of running room across the 40, but this one has the looks like it may be coming back. Flag down on the far side in front of the St. Joe's bench. So this DePaul team, pretty senior laden, but young in some spots. You just saw from Sean Kelly, the sophomore. Robertson, a junior, but started last year as a sophomore. And it looks like they're trying to get a decision from Augie Hoffman about what he wants to do as a result of the penalty. So this one looks like it's going against DePaul. Got a procedure penalty. So that'll back up DePaul 5 yards. We'll replay the down. And it'll be 3rd down and 15. So an inauspicious start for the Spartans. Had a couple of balls thrown over the middle, incomplete. Robertson has been a pretty efficient passer over this season, over 50%. 3rd down and 15. 3 receivers near side. Robertson going to take and run on a delayed carry. Robertson with some room and a blocker up the middle. He's got a first down over midfield and into St. Joe's territory. What a great job by Rustemi, paving the way upfield for Taquan Robertson. And Robertson also nicely done to be patient enough, just follow his blocker all the way. And on 3rd and 15, they get plenty to keep the drive alive. So 2 3rd down scampers by Robertson to extend the drive as they are now in St. Joe's territory. A little over a minute gone in this game. Play action, feed, and a good grab by Harbor. Harbor's still on his feet. Well, that one could have been real dangerous for DePaul. And Taquan Robertson comes back over to the sideline, taps his hand on his chest as to say, that one's on me. Because that pass was thrown behind the senior wide receiver, Teddy Harbor, and almost intercepted. Instead, it goes for a 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6. As the Spartans move left to right to begin the contest. Man in motion is DePalma. Play action. Look to the right side, complete to Ronnie Hickman, and another first down as Hickman goes down at the 25-yard line. A pickup of 18. And right now, DePaul Catholic using the play action pass very efficiently when Robertson's been on money. Drive continues to move quickly. This drive began back at the 20-yard line for DePaul. Field shifted to the far side. 3 receivers up there. Robertson looks that way, then runs right following his blockers. Robertson, a little hesitation and gets taken down after a small gain by Jaden Budka, a senior linebacker, after a pickup of 3. Now, talking to John McKenna this week, said that they felt they learned from some of the mistakes they've made in their 4th quarter. Collapses wouldn't be the right word, but the way they've been unable to close out games at times. Robertson takes it on 2nd, runs right up the middle, spun down there. So it'll be a 3rd and manageable upcoming for the Spartans. Said sometimes it's easier to learn in a loss, and they feel like they've learned what the appropriate lessons were. He didn't really shed light on what exactly it was. But one of the things that he talked about was Nick Patty, the quarterback for St. Joe's, his ability to get outside the pocket in the fourth quarter and how that made them pay. Manny Oliver, senior wide receiver, splits out to the far side. Hickman near side. Robertson looking that way. Oliver standing around, and Robertson will go down. He was looking left and never saw the approaching Kevin Jaffe. And that'll go for a loss, and it'll make it fourth down as well. So a huge sack for St. Joe's. Manny Oliver was standing wide open, and Robertson was looking that way, just missed him. Well, Taquan Robertson is back out, and it looks like DePaul will go for it. Probably a little long for a field goal. This would be... Now they're going to call a timeout, because that would be, as the ball is at the 27, you're looking at a 44-yard field goal if you decide to kick from here.
I'd like to thank Wilson Sporting Goods, our corporate sponsor.
And a full day of action today around New Jersey for the New Jersey Football Championships from the three sites here at Kane, MetLife, as well as Rutgers. All 12 games today on Championship Saturday, coming to you from News 12 Varsity. The other games here at Kane University. After this one, St. Joe's against DePaul Catholic. We'll have Point Pleasant Beach and Middlesex coming up at 4 o'clock. And the nightcap will be Pompton Lakes and Hasbrook Heights.
St. Joe Montville coming in as defending champions 2016.
So Roberson back out on 4th and 13. They converted on 3rd and 15 a moment ago. Empty backfield. Roberson drops back, some time to throw. He looks over the middle, zips, complete. It's going to be short, though, as the ball is down at the 20-yard line. About 4 yards. Pardon me, the ball is at the 15-yard line, and this one will be pretty close. My depth perception got a little funky there. And I believe that they're going to bring out the sticks to measure this one. So that is some of the experience of Taquan Roberson now in his second season as a starter. Able to put the ball at least close to where it needs to be. And not enough, though. About half a football shy, so St. Joe's comes up with a stop on 4th and long. And an efficient opening drive for DePaul stalls out at the 15-yard line. So Nick Patty will lead his team out onto the field. The Pitt commit, thrown for nearly 2,000 yards on the season. He's rushed for a few hundred more along with 6 touchdowns. Patty will hand off on the right side. St. Joe's off and running. Here's Budka. Budka spun down after a huge pickup of 23 and an excellent play on first down for St. Joe's. And how deflating that can be after a long drive put together that was nearly 5 minutes for DePaul. Come away empty-handed. And then St. Joe's comes out, first play from scrimmage, and puts out 23. Here's Butka with some more running room. Out across the 45-yard line before he's upended there. Chris Conti on the tackle.
7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 from the 46.
Last time out, Butke did not register a single carry against DePaul in that meeting on the 4th. Give left side. Close to a first down for Evan Stewart, senior linebacker.
First touch for Evan Stewart, number 6. Solo tackle, Sean Kelly, number 28. Just shy, 3rd and 1 at the 48.
Well, Evan Stewart's got some good size to him as well. As a fullback, 3rd and 1 coming up. Midway through this first quarter in a scoreless game. In the non-public Group 3 championship. Give up the middle and DePaul shuts it down. Middle of that defensive line coming up. Chris Banks there, along with Marinelli, and St. Joe's brings out the punt unit. So St. Joe's was moving the ball efficiently, cruising to midfield, and then the drive stalls out there. Ronnie Hickman back to receive for the Spartans. Green Knights will kick away on 4th and 2. Shanked punt off the side of the foot, but it takes a St. Joe's bounce, and a good one at that. Rolls inside the 15 and all the way to about the 12-yard line, and that's where DePaul will have it with 4:30 to go in the first quarter. So one positive for the Spartans so far, time of possession definitely in favor of the silver and green. Roberson in shotgun to begin the drive. Handoff up the guts for Sean Kelly, I believe. Numbers are a little tough between 28 Kelly and 22 Chase Hebron. So Kelly will shuttle off the field, a sophomore. Three receiver split near side on 2nd down and 5. Roberson going to air it out down the left side. It's complete to Ronnie Hickman. And Hickman will scurry out of bounds just shy of midfield. A perfectly placed ball for Taquan Roberson, pardon me. A gain of 26 on the reception. And that's why the hope's so high for DePaul. They play their star quarterback. Small gain on 1st down. And that's the first time we saw DePaul really take a shot downfield. Roberson had been kind of living in the middle area of the field. Last time out against St. Joe's, Ronnie Hickman, 8 receptions, 157 yards, and a touchdown. He stepped up in the big game last time out. 2nd and 9, play action, Roberson around 1 tackle. Roberson now will get out of the pocket and throw it away. St. Joe's just out of his reach. Roberson almost sacked not once but twice. The first one there for St. Joe's was Howard Cross. Got him around the ankles, but couldn't finish the job. 3rd down and 9. They completed a couple of 3rd and longs on the first possession of the game. They're 2 for 3 on 3rd down so far. Roberson dropping back, plenty of time to throw, zips it over the middle, but Manny Oliver is hammered as soon as he makes the reception. Evan Stewart, an unforgiving lick. And that'll bring up 4th down, and DePaul will punt away. Well, Stewart read that pass well. So both defenses have come to play in the opening quarter. Gavin Sharkey back to receive. High spiraling kick. Sharkey fair catch called for at the 15-yard line. It's a good tempo game so far, a little field position battle. And we take you back to November the 4th, where DePaul had a 2-touchdown lead entering the 4th quarter, but it was St. Joe's coming out with the 28-21 win, and they've had DePaul's number, defeating the Spartans 13 consecutive games dating back to 1974. Patty will keep it himself, dive forward for a pickup of 8 on 1st down. Closing in on the 2-minute mark of this first quarter, scoreless game in the non-public Group 3 championship. Perhaps one of the more anticipated games of the weekend besides St. Peter's and Bergen Catholic. Give left side, that'll be good enough for a 1st down across the 25. For Evan Stewart. For Rod McCombs splitting out as wide receiver. DePaul showing some blitz. Patty rolling to his right. Patty going to zip it downfield, completes it to Gavin Sharkey right at the stick. And another 1st down. He goes out of bounds with 1:19 to go in the first quarter. Sharkey, senior wide receiver. And one of the things that Patty does so well is throwing the ball on the run, keeping his eyes upfield once he gets outside the pocket. You can see why Pitt likes what they have coming on campus. Patty again will hand it off to the right side. Not much doing there for Alaimo. Two-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd down and 8. Nasir Berry, the receiver, splits in the near side. Man in motion is Alaimo. Patty looks to throw, has a receiver. It's complete to Alaimo. Alaimo with a blocker to his left side. Over midfield, stiff arm, then spun out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and a flag comes down. I don't know about that penalty. Matt Alaimo was still on his feet. He was in bounds. I know his momentum was kind of carrying him out. Maybe that's what the officials saw, but that is going to go against DePaul. An extra 15 yards tacked on to the end of that run. You know, close game, that's a real tough penalty to take. Because I don't think anybody would have batted an eye if there was no call made there. That gives a little extra something to St. Joe's. 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter, looking for the first score of the game. Nick Patty following some blockers. Running up the middle, ball comes loose. Looks like St. Joe's recovered And trying to see who comes out of the pile with that. It was Luke Weipler falling on top of it. So final seconds ticking off the clock here at the end of the first quarter. Scoreless game, but St. Joe's is in business. It's second down when we come back from the 25-yard line of DePaul. It's the Group 3 non-public championship game on News 12 Varsity.
To welcome the Spartan cheerleading squad under the direction of Gabby Carpenter. Welcome, ladies. And the Green Knights cheerleaders under the direction of Mary Carpentieri. Second and 9 at the 24 to start the second quarter.
Back at Kane University, second down and 9 for St. Joe's. Here's Nick Patty throwing over the middle, knocked away. And two DePaul players converge. They were looking for McCombs downfield. And there's two Spartans down. That was a pretty tough collision. It was Nunn who knocked it away with his right hand. And Brown coming off the field. He seems to be okay. Maybe he's got the wind knocked out of him, but he was in coverage as well. And comes over, takes his helmet off, and kind of lets out a big breath. Third down and 9 for St. Joe's. Patty steps up into the pocket. He's rolling to his left side. Patty making a beat for the sideline and got hit up high before the first down marker. Well, that looked like some violent hit. I don't think they got the head, but it almost looked like a clothesline the way the tackle came up high on that shoulder pad. And it will be fourth down and 3. Chris Conti delivering the hit there to Nick Patty. And it looks like St. Joe's is going to try a field goal. At a 34-yard try to the end zone off to our rights. Plenty of leg behind it, and the kick is good. So Guglielmello knocks home a 34-yard field goal for the first points of the game, and St. Joe's takes a 3-0 lead. And Chris Conti, that open field tackle, may have saved a few more points from the DePaul perspective. Guglielmello. Plenty of leg on that kick, and with 10:53 to go in the second quarter, St. Joe strikes first.
Following this game will be Point Pleasant Beach against Middlesex at 4 o'clock, and at 7 p.m. Compton Lakes against Hasbrook Heights.
Guglielmello to kick away. taken by Nunn. He runs left side to the 15-yard line, and then Nunn hammered down by Budka.
Nice here, Nunn on the return. Jaden Budka, number 1 on the coverage. Yard on the return for Nunn.
So DePaul takes over 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Minute and change into the second quarter. Roberson handed off the middle to DePalma. Vinny DePalma, the big fullback, 6'1", 225. A bit more size than Hebron or Kelly. Committed to Boston College. He chose BC, Navy, and Rutgers were in there as well. He's both the emotional and physical leader of this team. Chris Conti in as an extra blocker as well. Give left side, but St. Joe's bottles it up. Nowhere to go for Manny Oliver.
Manny Oliver trying to turn the corner. Tripped up by Gibney, number 47.
Yeah, Matt Gibney was the first one there. 3rd down and 5 now on the way.
3rd and 5 coming up for the Spartans.
Shea McKenna checking into the ball game. Three receivers to the near side one more time. As the clock continues to move here in the second quarter. Roberson has been so efficient on these 3rd downs. He runs out to the left side, throws, and we were blocked out by the DePaul sideline. Let's see what the officials say. And that was a catch. 1st down. Excellent job by Roberson to extend that play again. I think it was Teddy Harper who had the reception, diving in front of his own team sideline. They get Manny Oliver on the reception. John McKenna had the best view of that one. They knew right away. So another 3rd and long conversion for DePaul. Roberson running right away across the 35-yard line. From a defensive perspective, if you're St. Joe's, you got to be saying to yourself, at some point, we've got to get DePaul locked down on 3rd and long, because that is the 3rd or 4th, 3rd and 7 or more that they've been able to convert, including a 3rd and 15 earlier in the game. Conti back in as a blocking fullback. Give left side for DePalma. DePalma lowers the shoulder, powering down to the 40-yard line. The other day, on Thursday night, I think it was the Rutherford Hackettstown game that Lou Brogno and I did. Lou loved the Rutherford player that had the sheen worn off his helmet. He felt like it was a good look for a linebacker. Chris Conti has a lot of that silver rubbed off the helmet as well. DePalma going again for it. DePalma looks like he's got enough as he moves the pile forward. So John McKenna liking a little bit more size coming from the backfield. And DePalma, who again is primarily a fullback, getting a few carries here and working successfully for the Spartans. Fresh set of downs for DePaul Catholic on their own 42-yard line. A two-back set again. Reverse back to Roberson. Roberson going to heave it downfield, a hand in his face as he throws into double coverage, and it's knocked away by St. Joe's. Jaden Budka on the coverage, as they were looking for Ronnie Hickman. And I think that little trick play might have worked, except for Roberson got hit right at the point of release, so that That pass kind of flew on him a little bit, was a little underthrown. Brings up 2nd down and 10. High snap, Roberson running right. Roberson with a head of steam, upended just past the 45-yard line by Matt Gibney, who's had a couple of key tackles today. And that will bring up 3rd down and short. DePalma shuffling out. Sean Kelly returns. And it looks like there's a little confusion on the DePaul sideline, and they're going to take a timeout. First charge timeout for either team this afternoon. We talked about the come-from-behind victory for St. Joe's back on November the 4th, but that wasn't the only one. Of DePaul's 3 losses, 2 have been in that same sort of fashion, with 2 touchdowns lead in the final quarter. Not only St. Joe's, but St. Peter's Prep also. St. Peter's scoring twice in the final 8 minutes, and a 2-point conversion with less than 3 minutes to go ahead. And again, St. Joe's, they allowed 3 TDs in the 4th quarter. But John McKenna told us they feel like they've got some of those woes behind them. 3rd down and 3. Ronnie Hickman, the lone receiver, to the near side. St. Joe's showing blitz. Roberson, play fake, runs upfield, has the 1st down. Needed 3 and he got 4. Drive going on about 5 minutes for DePaul. Roberson to his left. He floats it out to the left side. Closest person to it was McCombs for St. Joe's, as he was looking for Ronnie Hickman, but it'll fall incomplete. So for the most part, DePaul has controlled the flow of this game offensively. They've had a much larger chunk of the time of possession, or at least it feels that way. But St. Joe's put a little drive together on their last possession. Roberson running right away. Roberson runs into his own man after a short gain of 3. And another 3rd and long coming up for DePaul. But again, these have not been much of an issue for the Spartans. They've been able to convert on 3rd down and long quite a few times this afternoon. Sophomore running back Sean Kelly checks back into the game. He is to Roberson's right, 3 receivers near side. Blitz coming or shown from the left side by St. Joe's. Now it comes. Roberson stands into the pocket, throws, and it's almost intercepted. Boy, Jaden Butka has been a pest defensively from a DePaul perspective. Shown some good coverage. So clock stops with 5:26 to go. And on 4th down, a little pooch punt. Takes a St. Joe's bounce, but still a good punt overall, as it will be down at the 13-yard line. And St. Joe's has it with 5:17 to go in the first half and a 3-0 lead. So St. Joe's moving left to right. Patty throwing it over the middle, complete to McCombs, and McCombs gets up after that one. He knew he was just one broken tackle away from taking that all the way to the house. A 14-yard reception for McCombs. McCombs 4 receptions in the last meeting for 68 yards. Play fake, Patty looking to the right side and finds his man in Alamo. And Alamo, who drew that personal foul on the late hit, that set up what would be the go-ahead field goal at the moment for St. Joe's. Second down and a long 3. Trip receiver bunch near side. Man goes in motion. It's Sharkey. Keeper for Patty. Patty diving forward. Has enough for a first down. A couple extra on top of that. As he's tackled by Christopher Banks. Banks, a senior who had committed to Boston College, but then in June decommitted there because he felt like he rushed his decision. And uncommitted at the moment. It'll probably stay that way till February. Right now, focused on the here and now here in the non-public Group 3 championship. Calls from the defensive line for DePaul. Here's Patty standing up, almost hit. Patty throwing high, looking for Alamo. Second down and 10. Nick Patty returns after a brief discussion with Augie Hoffman on that sideline. There's Patty standing, throws over the middle, completes it to Sharkey. Sharkey, one man to beat. Sharkey, one little move and carries two guys with him across midfield to the 38. Oh, giving up some size to both DePaul defenders. And got about 6 or 7 yards after the initial contact. All right, Gavin Sharkey does not shy away from physicality. And you love to see that as a wide receiver going over the middle. That moves us inside. 3 minutes to go in the first half. 3-0 St. Joe's leading. Patty steps between a couple of defenders. He's flushed out of the pocket. Patty going to look downfield for Sharkey again. And that might be a flag. Sharkey tied up with Ronnie Hickman. There was, at least from our perspective, definitely a little clutching and grabbing on the jerseys. But Sharkey went down, and it's just an incomplete pass. Well, nice job by the defensive line of DePaul. They haven't put a tremendous amount of pressure on Nick Patty so far in this game. And Patty, as well as Roberson, they do such a great job extending plays with their feet. Man in motion is Sharkey. And Sharkey goes down, taken down by DePalmo, wrapped him up down low. Third down and long coming up. Under 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. And in a passing situation, DePaul brings in their speed package on the defensive line. A lot of the big bodies going out. Receivers bunched up to the far side of the screen. Patty rolling that way to his left. Patty intercepted. DePaul's got it. Taken by Nunn as Nunn comes across midfield. And the first turnover of the game belongs to DePaul. With St. Joe's driving. Boy, Nick Patty has all his receivers tilted to that side of the field. And a high pass that sailed on him a little bit. He felt the pressure coming from the DePaul defensive line. And DePaul's got it, 1:49 to play, 2 timeouts remaining in the half. Roberson, he's in some trouble. Roberson gonna find left side. Somehow found a receiver in the form of Manny Oliver. When he let go of that, it looked like he was just kind of dumping it downfield to throw it away, but instead he saw Oliver and managed to get 6 yards on first down. And in addition to that, Oliver able to get out of bounds. Now, 2nd down and 4. As Roberson standing tall, throws over the middle. That one, Teddy Harper cannot grab. And 3rd down coming up. Brings up 3rd down with 1:35 to play in the first half. Empty backfield. Roberson over the middle, close to the sticks for Hickman, and we'll see where they map off the forward progress. And it will be short. It doesn't look like John McKenna is too happy with the spot on that ball. And DePaul will take a timeout. And you figure with 1:14 to go, I mean, you got to go for it here, right? Not really in field goal range. And even though St. Joe still has all 3 of their timeouts, it'd still be a somewhat of a long way to go with about a minute left. So Vinny DePalma's out there. And DePalma's the deep back. They've got Conti. DePalma lowering the shoulder, 1st down. Well, that's the short yardage personnel between Conti and DePalma, and they get exactly what they need. They tried to quickly reset. And I think DePaul trying to say that that's an encroachment. they just spiked the ball to stop the clock. Speed coming, Roberson, a wide open receiver to the right side, complete. And Hickman unable to get out of bounds, so they quickly go back to the line of scrimmage. They have to stop the clock for the moment to set the ball on first down. As soon as it's set, then they run the clock. I heard the whistle from the official. Roberson dumps it off for Harper. Harper in the middle of the field. Harper tripped up at the 20. And again, DePaul out of timeouts, 44 seconds, and the clock continues to run. 38 seconds now remaining in the first half. Roberson dropping back, airs one out, dumps it into the end zone, and it's broken up by Budka. So that'll make it third down with 28 seconds left. One positive out of that for DePaul is that it does stop the clock. It's got to be the third pass breakup today already for Budka in this first half. Hickman splits out to the right side. You got Manny Oliver out wide near side. Roberson looking for Hickman, has him to the sideline, complete. And he's able to get out of bounds as well, stopping the clock with 23 seconds left, a first down, as he's out of bounds at the 11. So Roberson and the Spartans effectively working the 2-minute offense and trying to capitalize and finish it off with points before the locker room. First and 10 from the 12. Oliver and Harper near side. Hickman is the lone receiver to the far side. Complete to Oliver. Oliver juking around. Oliver fighting his way down to the 5-yard line. 14 seconds left. DePaul trying to get to the line of scrimmage and spike it before time runs out. And they will do just that. 6 seconds on the clock. So perhaps time for one more play. And it looks as though DePaul will take the points and tie this thing up. And St. Joe's will try and ice the kicker, Amadeo. It'll be a 24-yard try. For John Amadeo, the junior kicker. Guglielmello hit a 34-yard field goal just moments into the second quarter to give St. Joe's the 3-0 advantage, and in a low-scoring game, DePaul wanting to take the points here. And after the timeout, it looks like they may go for it. Roberson comes out of the huddle. So maybe John McKenna figured they had a chance to talk it over because of St. Joe's timeout. So they're going for it on third down, 6 seconds to go, and that is going to force St. Joe's to use their last timeout. So now the cat and mouse game, so to speak, at the end of this half. Both coaches know each other so well that the times that these teams have played. Championship game last year that St. Joe's won. Earlier this month, or earlier this season now that we're in December. So on November the 4th. And that second St. Joe's timeout does not seem like it changed the minds of DePaul Catholic. They're still going for it. 6 seconds left in the third. It's third down, or in the second quarter, pardon me. Third down. Roberson with DePalma to his left. 2 receivers to either side. Roberson looking left side, has a receiver, touchdown! Teddy Harper right on the money. So the St. Joe's timeouts kind of come back to bite them, because DePaul looked wholly ready to take the 3 points and kick a field goal. And instead, Augie Hoffman opting to talk it over with his team gives John McKenna the opportunity to do the same. And they draw something up to go on top. Now 7-0 after the extra point, right as time expired. Tremendous 2-minute offense for Taquan Roberson and DePaul, as Roberson finds Teddy Harper as time expires at the end of the first half. And DePaul Catholic leads St. Joe's 7-3 here from Kean University in the New Jersey Non-Public Group 3 state championship game. Back at Kean University, start of the second half in the New Jersey Non-Public Group 3 championship game. It's DePaul leading St. Joe's 7-3 after a touchdown as time expired to end the first half, received by Teddy Harper, and it's DePaul kicking off to St. Joe's, taken at the 5-yard line. Veering back to the near side at the 20, and a hard hit on McCombs. So a defensive battle in that first half, and we look again at the time of possession where DePaul kind of controlled things. St. Joe's did not have, especially in the second quarter, they did not have a whole lot of time possession. But they begin with the ball, driving right to left. There's Patty handing off to the right side. And a small gain on first down. For Powell, that's his first carry of the game. A sophomore. Max Runyon in as a tight end as they go a little bit more bunched formation. Pitch for Sharkey. Sharkey in some running room, and it closes up pretty quickly. Sharkey picks up about 3, brought down by Conti. Sharkey was kind of an X factor for St. Joe's in the first half. He had a big reception, almost had a touchdown reception. Thought there could have potentially been a pass interference called on that non-reception. But he, as the referee saw it, kind of tripped up. A 3rd and short. McCombs to the near side, and now a run for Butka, and Butka's got the first down across the 40-yard line. You know, you like the confidence and the assertiveness that Jaden Butka runs with, and he's been so good for St. Joe's defensively today. A couple of pass breakups. St. Joe's coming out of the break with a much more traditional run-style offense. Butka running right side behind Brady Rourke, who's in at the tight end. So you can see Augie Hoffman changing things up at halftime here philosophically, where they had Nick Patty throwing the ball a little bit more, a bit more spread look, and now they go a tad bit more power, a tad bit more traditional, but now back to the 3 receiver spread. Man in motion is Alamo. Patty some time to throw, but it closes quickly. The defense converges on him, and he is sacked. Marcus House, the inside linebacker, knocked Patty for a loss. So the first time they were looking to throw the ball in the half, and DePaul dialed up some big pressure. Timeout here taken by DePaul. Just a couple minutes in. Pardon me, the timeout comes from the St. Joseph side. Again, a full day of New Jersey Championship action coming to you on News 12 Varsity. Right now, the other games going on in the area, North Hunterdon and Phillipsburg is at MetLife Stadium. South Brunswick and Manalapan going on at Rutgers. You can catch both those games on News 12 Varsity. And later today, the games at MetLife, Riverdale, Ramapo, Mount Olive, Old Tappan. At Rutgers. It's Freehold Borough against Long Branch, and Somerville versus Rumson Fairhaven later today. Point Pleasant Beach, Middlesex, and Pompton Lakes, Hasbrook Heights from Kane. Third down and 15. Patty flushed out again. Patty around one tackle, around another, steps out of this one. Patty's got a first down. He slides down there. And Patty wanting a flag as he had gone into his slide, at least the way he thought so. He had gone into his slide before Ian Brown gave a hit. But Nick Patty on third down and 14, able to scramble for a first down. That was DePaul's specialty in the first half. So fresh set of downs as they are into DePaul territory. Nick Patty dropping back again, flings it to the right side, incomplete as he short hopped it, looking for Gavin Sharkey. You're not going to see that a whole lot from Nick Patty. Not a lot of pressure, just kind of came out of his hand funky. And as far as the final Saturday goes for New Jersey Football Championships, hard to ask for much better weather than this. Clear skies, sunny day, not too cold. 2nd and 10. Another short arm throw, and they'll just say it's an incomplete pass. That looked like it might have been considered a lateral, but just an incomplete pass is the ruling. So 3rd and 10. I mean, the leader of the DePaul student section was without a shirt, so it's warm enough to be able to do that. So St. Joe's converted on 3rd and 14 a moment ago. They now approach a 3rd and 10. With 4 minutes gone by in the third quarter. And DePaul on top 7-3. Here's Patty, chased away. Patty to his right. Patty going to heave it downfield, looking for Sharkey. And the throw incomplete, out of bounds. All right, that's on the money. Sharkey was open enough that would have been a completed pass, and it would have been one heck of a completed pass at that. But Patty's momentum carrying him to his right, and that's kind of where that pass sailed. So 4th down upcoming. High spiraling kick, fair catch called for at the 11-yard line. I think this game is a bit more defensive than we might have anticipated. The 28-21 final last month. So DePaul takes over at the 12-yard line. 7:44 to go in the third quarter. First possession of the quarter for DePaul. Roberson tied up by, looked like Farad McCombs on the tackle. A short gain of 2. So we saw St. Joe's run the ball a bit more out of the break. We'll see if there's any philosophical change from DePaul Catholic. Man in motion, Roberson handing it off. Some good running room for Teddy Harper. His first carry of the day, and it's a first down. Well, Teddy Harper's got the touchdown reception, the lone touchdown reception of the day. And they're flashing the wheels a little bit. Harper Touchdown earlier in the season against St. Joe's, 4 receptions for 48 yards that afternoon. Little motion from the St. Joe's side. Kyle Clark looked like he jumped off. The officials are going to get together and confer that it was not the right side of the DePaul offensive line to move first. It didn't look like it. I stand corrected. Well, met with a smattering of boos from the DePaul fans here in attendance. I mean, unless there was a flinch on the line that I didn't see, I thought it was the hard count that drew Kyle Clark offsides. Not the way the officials saw that. So 1st and 15. Roberson, play action, throws over the middle, nearly intercepted. As Mack was looking that way for St. Joe's. About the halfway point of the third quarter, 7-0 DePaul, still leading St. Joe's. As Roberson drops back, now he's going to run. Roberson, stiff arm, out of one tackle, out of another, shimmies by the 30-yard line, but doesn't get much more. 3rd down and 10 coming up, but a late flag. And DePalma, a little roughed up after the play. So that will prove to be a very costly penalty, an automatic 1st down, as they'll walk this forward 15 yards. So St. Joe's earlier in the game had one personal foul. DePaul had the personal foul penalty that put St. Joe's really into field goal range, partly led to the first points of the game, and now St. Joe's has a costly one that it would have been 3rd and 10. Instead, it gives them 15 yards and an automatic 1st down. Roberson throws over the middle, tipped. Nice play by Greco to knock that away from Liam Cabri. But with DePaul in this offense, they love to go down the middle of the field. Passing-wise, Taquan Roberson able to get those balls through traffic. Here's a right side give, not much doing there. For DePalma. They give him 2 yards officially, so 3rd down and 8 on the way. Roberson in some trouble. Roberson able to zip it ahead for Harper, and Harper will be 2 yards short of a 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down right at midfield. And DePaul will punt this one away with 4:29 to go at the end of the 3rd quarter. Sharkey back to receive it. Bouncing ball. moving all the way inside the 10-yard line. Nunn had to hop over it to make sure it didn't hit him. But a tremendous punt. And St. Joe's takes over deep in their own territory with 4 minutes left to go in the third. So last possession, they came out running the ball, got a little away from that after some initial success with it. Flag down. I believe against St. Joe's, so this one will go back even further. So that'll mark it off half the distance to the goal, and it will be at the 4-yard line. St. Joe's and has won 13 straight games in this series dating back to 1974. They get it out back to the original line of scrimmage on a first down carry by Jaden Budka. You know, again, you look at the two tremendous quarterbacks for either side, and you, before the game, I think anybody would have been surprised that it would be 7-3 with 3.5 minutes left in the third. Second down and 9. Play action, thrown over the middle, complete to Sharkey for a first down. Well, Nick Patty getting that away in a hurry, and Sharkey upfield very quickly. I like the play of Gavin Sharkey today. He's in a slot left right now with McCombs, the wide receiver, split out left. And they're going to look Sharkey's way again, but it's too high for him to grab. Incomplete. Second down and 10. They show a little more power formation. Sharkey goes in motion. It's Patty on the keeper. Patty tries to plow through, gains 3. And a third and long coming up. But we've had more third and long conversions in this game, especially for a game that's been as defensive as it has. Green Knights trailing DePaul Catholic 7-3, 2:20 remaining in the third quarter. Here's Patty, gonna zip one to the 30-yard line, and this will be enough for a first down. Yasir Berry, the reception, and another third down conversion for St. Joe's. Combs is the lone receiver. It's Clario now. Clario's wide open. Patty doesn't see him. Patty throws the middle, but a little bit behind Budka. It's Gavin Sharkey that he came in motion underneath, and nobody had picked him up. He kind of got lost from the defensive side. Patty was unable to see him. Give left side for Butka. Butka trying to turn upfield. He's turned away from that. Initial hit made by Azia Laura. But none was there as well for DePaul. And another third and long. They completed on 3rd and 6 a moment ago. And a timeout taken by DePaul. John McKenna did not like what he was seeing from his defense there.
Timeout called by DePaul. With a minute remaining, third quarter. Again, following this game.
And coming up today, also from Kane at 4 o'clock, it'll be Point Pleasant Beach and Middlesex. Pompton Lakes against Hasbrook Heights. To wrap up some of the tremendous action that we've seen this weekend. Shabazz earlier today defeating Weequahic. $35-0. Bergen Catholic, the overall champion from last night at MetLife. And there seems to be some confusion from the DePaul side of things. And now Augie Hoffman getting an explanation on what's going on from the official. DePaul's got to quickly get off. Here's Patty going deep. Patty's pass is incomplete. He was out of bounds. Well, DePaul got away with that. Nunn was trying to get off the field. And then once the play began, he kind of just stayed out there. The officials missed it. And on a 3rd and long, where DePaul was having all sorts of troubles defensively, they kind of dodged a bullet. So Alamo to punt it away. High spiraling kick taken by Harper, and Harper almost hit almost exactly as he caught it at the 34. Defensive battle continues. DePaul leading St. Joe's 7-3 with 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Keeper for Roberson. Roberson forward for 6. Oh, good play fake. Sean Kelly took a bit of a hit there. Final 20 seconds of the quarter. It'll be a give up the gut, close to a first down for Vinny DePalma, the fullback. And that'll bring us to the fourth quarter. DePaul's got the ball, and it'll be a 3rd down attempt. When we come back, a 7-3 lead for the Spartans. Trying to do what they could not a month ago and finish the fourth quarter with a lead. So they do, in fact, give DePaul a first down on that yardage by DePalma. 1st and 10, DePalma hit in the backfield. Still able to make a little something out of it. Tackle by Kyle Clark. Again, not to belabor the point, but November 4th, going into the fourth quarter, was a 2-touchdown lead for DePaul over St. Joe's. And Nick Patty made some plays with his legs. They scored 3 touchdowns to St. Joe's in the fourth quarter to take a 28-21 victory. Back almost a month ago to the date. Roberson in some trouble. Roberson. Pass goes incomplete. He was looking for Ronnie Hickman. And 3rd and 10 on the way. Empty backfield for DePaul Catholic. St. Joe's showing blitz. Roberson, pump fake. Roberson gonna tuck and run. Roberson across midfield, first down and more across the 40 before he's turned out of bounds. Taquan Roberson, that play looked like he wanted to throw. And St. Joe's defense, the coverage was so good, a flag is going to bring that one back. A collective groan from the green-clad fans on the sideline in front of us. And though I do believe the marker came after the first down. So it'll be a first down, but 10 yards back from that. So they net 3 out of it. Oh, it is still 3rd down, pardon me. So they net 3, but they'll replay 3rd down. And 3rd down and 7 now. Roberson going to run up the middle again. Roberson 1 tackle, 2, and he's pushed down 2 yards shy of the first down marker. Punt team is on. Well, both coaches playing this very conservatively. No need to go for it at this point. With the way your defense is played, just allowing the 3 points on the field goal. High spiraling kick, a bomb, and a fair catch called for. And we got a flag, yes. Chris Conti saw the fair catch too late. He tried to avoid the contact. You saw his arms kind of go beside him. He still grazed Gavin Sharkey, who was there, and now they're going to discuss it. So that is going to go against DePaul. You know, if you look back to a couple of key plays in this game, one would be the interception by Nunn. That eventually led to the touchdown on the long drive at the end of the first half by DePaul. The other thing would be the timeout called by Augie Hoffman at the end of that first half, because there were 6 seconds left. DePaul Catholic was out of timeouts. They were getting ready to kick the field goal. Hoffman calls a timeout from the St. Joe's side. That gives DePaul a chance to talk it over. They draw up a play to go for it on third down, but with only 6 seconds left, and they end up getting a touchdown as time expires to end the first half. So that penalty puts St. Joe's all the way at the 27-yard line, and some motion on both sides before that, but they blow the play dead, so it would appear that it's going against St. Joe's. So giving some of the yardage on that penalty back. First and 15 now. Butka in the backfield, flanking Patty's left. The give is to Butka. Butka trying to cut it back inside. Pushed back by a wall of green-clad defenders. Got maybe a yard and not much else. Conti leading the way defensively on that stand. Second down and long. Nick Patty under center now. Patty play action, dropping, screen pass meant for Butka. Butka outrunning DePalma for a moment, but DePalma able to close the gap quickly and bring him down at the 31. It'll be third and somewhat long coming up. We played 2 and change in the fourth quarter. DePaul clinging to a 7-3 lead. And as strange as it is, the way both defenses played, third and long, teams have been able to be successful on the offensive side of the ball today. Here's Patty throwing over the middle, and again another third and long conversion, finding Yasir Berry at the 40-yard line. And you got to wonder if St. Joe's drives a little bit more, another 10 yards, if they get into DePaul territory, how much does that fourth quarter comeback, that and the St. Peter's one, creep into the minds of DePaul Catholic? Man in motion. Here's Patty dropping back, standing in the pocket. He's going to whip it over the middle. High pass. Good coverage provided by DePaul. It was intended for Yasir Berry and covered by Nasir Nunn. Nunn, who has the interception today that kind of turned the tables in the first half. And all the scoring coming in the second quarter today. Not been a whole lot of it. 7-3. DePaul looking for their first title since 2015, where they won 3 straight. St. Joe's trying to go back-to-back. Patty scrambling, flushed out of the pocket, flag down. Patty looking downfield, incomplete. Intended for McCombs, and he was D'd up and covered by Manny Oliver. A hold going against St. Joe's is the call. Nick Patty playing in his third consecutive championship game as the starter. last year in this game against DePaul, threw for 209 yards and 4 touchdowns. They have to get to midfield. It's 2nd down and 26. There's Patty throwing over the middle, completes it to McCombs, but nothing doing after the catch. And those two guys going at it, Oliver and McCombs, and Oliver brings him down. Gain of about 4 after all of that. So time rolling, 7:55 going in the 4th quarter in the non-public Group 3 championship game between St. Joe's and DePaul. Third down and way long. Empty backfield. Patty receives the snap, standing back there now. He takes off and runs. Patty eyes upfield. Patty to the left side. Patty stretches out. Looks like he's got enough, and he's into DePaul territory with a first down. Both of these offenses almost seem better on 3rd and long than at any other point in the game. A 25-yard run by Nick Patty to extend the drive. And that's one that really charges up St. Joe's and takes some of the wind out of the sails of DePaul. Left side give now turned up the middle. Nothing there. It looked like it was Budka on the carry. A 1-yard gain. This drive going on 4 minutes. 2nd down and 10. Play action. Patty standing back there. Now Patty flushed out. This is where you got to watch out for him. Patty's going to look downfield. Load nearly intercepted, but dropped by Ronnie Hickman. Boy, that ball was well underthrown, and Hickman was the only player in the vicinity of it, and it bounced off his fingertips. Even that ball was below his knees. So 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. But again, both teams on 3rd and long have been pretty good. 3rd and short, not so much, but 3rd and long, they've been able to capitalize. Empty backfield. Again, this is where Nick Patty was able to scurry a moment ago for 25 yards. He looks left side. Nice open field tackle by Nunn. Alamo on the reception. Alamo, who will take over the quarterback duties next year with the graduation of Nick Patty to Pitt. And Alamo already with some offers. 4th down. Patty throwing left side, complete. Boy, that was threaded nicely because Sean Kelly got a hand on that, and it extends the drive. And again, you wonder, are the doubts creeping in for the 2 4th quarter comebacks that DePaul has allowed this season, including one to St. Joe's? And again, it's Nick Patty who's been able to extend the drive. Patty stepping up. And Patty going to slide down to the 30. It looked as though Nick Leyva thought he was going to get called for a hold and picked his hands up. It was kind of strange. Some of the offensive linemen for St. Joe's just stopped blocking. Inside 5 minutes to play now. Here's Patty, quick throw over the middle, completes it to Sharkey. Sharkey, another first down at the 20. And all of a sudden, this St. Joe's offense has got into a little bit of a rhythm. Sharkey shuttles off. Jaden Butka back in the game at tailback. Fullback in there as well. Play action. Patty ranging to his left. Patty completed pass inside the 5. Finding Farad McCombs. So St. Joe's offensive confidence bubbling up to the surface now. And this DePaul defense looks a little tired. Patty flanked by a tailback to either side. Give left side for Stewart. Stewart running left. Ball comes out. DePaul falls on top of it. Stewart trying to extend it for 1 extra yard, and the ball was forced loose. And DePaul, the Spartans, got it with 3.5 to go and a 7-3 lead. The sophomore Sean Kelly with the fumble recovery. And how quickly things change. A moment ago, you thought from a St. Joe's perspective, maybe don't score so fast because it would give DePaul the ball back. And now DePaul's got it deep in their own territory, but 3.5 to go. And they're going to take a timeout. So often, and it sounds cliche, but so often in these tight games and championship games, it's who limits the mistakes. The second turnover by St. Joe's in this game has not only given the ball back to DePaul, but it was in such an area that it essentially took points off the board for St. Joe's. Because they got into such a rhythm, it seemed like the score, the touchdown to go ahead was inevitable. And Evan Stewart, who had not carried the ball a whole lot this afternoon, trying to extend that carry 1 extra yard, get it into the end zone. I didn't see who forced the fumble, but it was definitely ripped out of there because the ball went rumbling far away from where Evans was. 1st and 10. Here's DePalma bumbling forward, and DePalma's got a first down and a fist pump as well. A 16-play St. Joe's drive that ends in the fumble. And talk about the swing of emotions on either side of the field. All of a sudden seeing smiles on the DePaul sideline. Here's Roberson in a packed house. DePalma moving forward. DePaul Catholic does not seem to be inclined to do anything risky here and go to the air. So 2.5 to go. St. Joe's still has 2 of their timeouts remaining. 2nd down and 8. Give to DePalma again. Again, this game is far from over. Now we'll have a timeout. And 2:14 to go. It'll be a 3rd and 7 coming up. Again, a 16-play drive. Things were in a good rhythm for St. Joe's before the fumble. And again, the ebb and flow of emotions. All of a sudden, we're hearing a lot of cheers on the DePaul sideline where they were in nervous anticipation and nervous silence a moment ago. Third and long. And we'll see if DePaul keeps it on the ground. Bit more spread look this time. Roberson going to throw over the middle, complete for a 1st down to DePalma. The emotional leader of this team gets himself and his team a 1st down. And DePaul won 3 straight titles between 2013 and 2015. Those are the only championships in the tenure of John McKenna. And they would love nothing more than to hoist another one with St. Joe's on the other end of the field. Timeout as DePaul takes their last timeout. And last year, Nick Patty threw for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns as they defeated DePaul 26-17 at MetLife Stadium a year ago. They've won 13 consecutive games against the Spartans, dating back to 1974, but 11 of those wins coming since 2009. Minute 36 to go. St. Joe's still with 1 timeout. Direct snap to DePalma. And DePalma rumbling forward. And St. Joe's uses their last timeout. The last hope if you will, for the Green Knights. Again, coming up after this game from Kane, it'll be Point Pleasant Beach and Middlesex, followed by Pompton Lakes and Hasbrook Heights. All for you right here on News 12 Varsity with John Perez on the call. And if DePaul is able to get a 1st down here with St. Joe's out of timeouts, that would cinch this one. We got a flag against DePaul. That backs DePaul up, 2nd down and 9. Again, DePalma just taking the direct snap. And you know that St. Joe's is doing everything they can to try and strip the ball. It'll be 3rd down and 4. And DePaul will be in no hurry to get this ball snapped. Time winding down as we're now under a minute. Taquan Roberson returns. And Roberson out as a wide receiver. DePalma will stay in the Wildcat. 3rd down and 4 again. Hard count. DePalma, a little delayed take. DePalma down at the 37-yard line. DePaul will have to run one more play, but St. Joe's will barely get a time off. And that's it. Exuberance and joy on the DePaul sideline as they win a defensive battle 7-3 and finally exercise the demons of St. Joe's. Snapping a 13-game losing streak to the Green Knights, avenging a championship loss a year ago and a regular season loss a month ago. The DePaul defense causes 2 turnovers. And that's enough to make their 7-point stand. They are your non-public Group 3 champions, 7-3.